If you're running a Shopify store and manually managing your orders based on location and the value, then you are creating an operational inefficiency which is going to scale as you grow. And this operational inefficiency, this friction, is going to cost you at least ten to $20,000 each year in manual work. So in this video, I will be showing you how you can entirely remove this friction with a proper backend system which is automated and without using Shopify Plus or without manual work. So also in this video, I will be explaining you how you can think in a systematical way. Most Shopify brands are focusing on ads and the front-end conversion, but what about the backend? It's usually the chaos. Orders are triggering, which orders are manually reviewed. Their teams are tagging the orders. It's very hard to analyze orders by the region and by the value of that order, like if it is a high value, low value, or the medium value. And fulfillment also becomes messy. And analysis, so if you not talk about that, then that's going to be the better decision. When an order volume grows, then manual processes also grows with it. At the start, it seems to be fine that as we are getting the less orders, it seems to be fine to review this order things manually. But when the order starts getting in volume, then this processes also grows and manual review is not possible, and this is very error prone, and here we lose our money. Let's solve this problem in a systematical way. So let's think about this in a systematical way. Suppose if we are getting an order, then what we need to do? We need to have some kind of logical engine which will analyze that order, like if it is a high value, medium value, or the low value, and from which region, which country, which city this order has been triggered. And we need to tag that order based on this, and that needs to be reflected in the Shopify. So this is a Shopify store where the order is created. This is our black box engine where all the logic is there, which for the tagging, and this tagging should be reflected back again to our Shopify store. So this is the whole system which we are targeting. So let me show you on the screens how this system is going to look like, how it works, and how we can implement this. A very simple diagram. So we have this Shopify store. In the Shopify store, someone have triggered the order. Someone is wired something. Then we will be simply identifying that as a high value, mid value, low value based on the order pricing, and we will be also checking its location, that from which location this order has been triggered. So what was its city and the country of that order. Then we will be simply tagging that orders, and we will be pushing back that data back to the Shopify store. So this is going to be the our flow. So now let me show you this system in action. So on the Shopify store, we are selling the desk reset system for the professionals who are setting for 8 to 10 hours daily. So this is for them. So let's buy this order, this Revix desk reset system 2. So this is the combination of the roller, then 10-minute reset pro to 1, then the stretching bands and one back. So let's buy it. Let's add some dummy email address here. Dummy email at gmail.com. So let's buy it from the USL. So let's have the first name is John and the second name is J. Let's type some address here. So I would like to type apartment. Yeah. So I just selected this. This is a dummy address. Let's add our payment details here. Expiry date as 28. Security code, anything. So how it is going to work? So whenever any user, any customer is going to click on pay now, means once the order is been triggered from our store, then it will be reflected, means it will be tagged at the same time, and it will be reflected in our system at the same time. So now I am clicking on pay now. So this order has been confirmed now. Yeah. So this is the confirmation. So now let's check onto our store that if it is tagged or not. So here, when we have triggered the order, so this order has been reflected in the Shopify store. So this is the order 1006. It had been triggered at 8:33, and it's all the status. Then the thing which we need to see is the tags. So it has already applied the tags. So city as Brooklyn, country as United States, and it's a high value, and it's an international order. So this is how the tags are applied, and this is how our system is working in action. So let me explain you how this has been created. So for the creation of this, for the orchestration, we have used the n8n, but n8n is just a tool which we have used to orchestrate this automation. But it can be created in any kind of automation. Like it can be directly coded, it can be used any other tools also. So let me show you the previous execution, that how and which values we have got. So this was the 8:33 a.m. Execution. So this is loading. Yeah. So whenever an order has been triggered, in that case, we have created one webhook. In that webhook, we have pasted this is the webhook URL. We have pasted this webhook URL into our Shopify stores application. So for that, go onto your Shopify store, then go onto your settings. In the settings, you need to go into the notifications. In the notifications, there is webhook functionality. So here in the webhook, you need to add your webhook whenever an order has been created. So let me show you this, how we have done. So whenever an event, that order creation event has been triggered, at that time, we are calling this URL, this order trigger. So this is how we will be getting that order trigger into our n8n workflow. Once we get that order, we need to check. Means we have added some routing rules, like to understand the value of that order. So if it is a high value, low value, or mid value, for that we have kept some ranges. So if the order is between 50 to 80, then it is a mid value. If it is above 80, then it's a high value. And if it is between 25 to 50, then it is going to be a low value order. Identifying this, then we have just combined these tags, because we need to add that tag if it is a high, low, or medium value tag. So we have connected that tag. Then we have connected the location tag. So for the location tag creation, we have used this country. So here we are appending from which country this has been taken. So we are creating one country tag, another is the city tag, and the third is the tag which was the value tag. So these three tags we are adding. So in the next node, what we have done, we have just created one list here, that is the tag list. In the tag list, we have pushed our value tag, country tag, and city tag. Then we are now, all the tags has been created. Now we need to push back these tags back to the Shopify store. So how we are going to do that? So this is the last node. In the last node, if you can see, here is the URL which we have created. And in that URL, we need to pass the tag. So this is the URL. In that, you will see that we have created, means we have selected the authentication as a generic credential type. Here we need to add the header authentication. In the header authentication, we have created one account, header authentication account. So then the header, in the headers, we have the content type as application type, application /JSON. Then in the body, we are using JSON body. In that, we are just passing the order related data. So here, order object is there. In that, we have passed the ID of the Shopify store. Then what all tags. This is the order ID and all the tags which we have created. So we have passed this so that this will update that order with the particular tags. So let's go back onto the authentication. So we have created this authentication. But for this authentication, we need to create the API token. So let me show you how we have created this authentication. Just open this. Here is the generic credential type in the header authentication, and here is the header authentication above. So if I just edit it, so here we have given it a access token. We have created a name and we have passed an access token. So you will get the question that how this access token will be generated. So for that, we need to take that access token directly from the Shopify store. But Shopify store directly don't provide us the access token. So for that, we need to create the access token. To create that access token, firstly, we need to go onto our Shopify dashboard. In the Shopify dashboard, let's go into the sales channel. Then we need to create an Shopify application. So to create the Shopify application, we need to go into Shopify App Store. Not here. Just a second. In the application, into develop apps, go to the build apps and dashboard. So now it has been redirected us to the dashboard of application creation. So here we need to click on the create application and we have to create the app. So I have already created the app. So I'm just showing you that. So why we have created this application so let me explain to that first. So we have created this application because we need to have the right kind of operation onto that order. Otherwise, we cannot directly write onto that order. But to provide this permission, we need to have some kind of application that this application is requesting to write the order. And when we are making the API request, at that time we need to either provide the client ID, client secret credentials to it, or access token. So this API accepts that API which I have already showed you, that accepts the access token. And to generate that access token, we need the credentials like the client secret and the client ID. So to generate client ID and the client secret, we need to create one application. So this is the application. So if we go into the application, here you can see that I will show you the release application, my release application. Key. This is the release application. In that release application, I have provided the scope as read all orders, read orders, write orders, and I have just click on the install. This is how I have installed that application onto my Shopify store. Then if we go into the settings, here we will find the client ID and the client secret key. So we need to copy that client ID and client secret key to generate the access token. So let me show you how we have generated this. So here, this API request. So we are making a post request to this URL. So this URL says that authentication access token. So we need to paste this URL here. Then here in the body content, we need to select the parameter as the form and URL encoded. And then in the body, we will be passing some fields. The first field is going to be the grant type. So in the grant type, we will be passing client credentials. Then in the client credentials, we are passing client ID. Client ID is going to be this one. This is the client ID. We have to just copy this and paste here. Then the client secret is going to be this one. This is the client secret. We need to copy this and paste that client secret to here. And we need to just click on the execute. So this will give us one access token, and this access token is going to be valid only for 24 hours. So we have architectured this system like that. Whenever a new order gets triggered, when we are tagging, before updating that order, we are always generating the access token. So every time, if it is a 24-day time frame, or if it is a week time frame, or in any time frame, if any order is triggered, at that time it will generate its own access token. So we don't need to generate it manually, and we don't need to update the workflow again and again. So this is how this system, the system will be automated, and this will work. So if we talk in terms of return on investment, so let's just consider if you are just getting $3,000, 3,000 orders every year, and if your employee are sending 10 minutes on each order, then just consider for the 365 days. So for the 3,000 orders, it is going to be 500 plus hours. And if we just consider per hour rate, that is a $24, then it is going to cost you $12,000. This automation can easily save $12,000 for 3,000 orders.